6 o'clock right now. Unionized truck drivers are joining their non-unionized counterparts on the picket lines at local ports this morning. Greg Harper is live over at Port Metro Vancouver with all the details. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. Yeah, here at the Main Street dock entrance here to Port Metro Vancouver. Job action is expected to begin today that could involve roughly 1,600 truckers. This is a dispute that first involved non-unionized truckers. Now it's unionized truckers that are joining in on this dispute. Over the weekend, Unifor members, there's roughly 400 of them, voted 98% in favor of going on strike. It appeared a strike was averted on Thursday. This is when mediator Vince Reddy brokered a tentative deal between the two sides. It was rejected. Truckers don't feel the agreement immediately addresses their concerns about rates and long waits at the port.
The average rate of pay, there was a recent study for container truck drivers when you consider everything, is about $15.59 an hour. The average rate of pay in the BC trucking industry is $23 an hour. So these drivers are paid at least 30% less than the average in the industry. They're having to wait longer, they're working longer hours, and then costs are being downloaded onto them. So clearly the economics just aren't in their favor, and they've decided to take action.
And we're told by the union to expect picket lines and protest lines up at various entrances to the port at some point this morning, which of course will cause a major disruption to operations here at Port Metro Vancouver. Kyle?
Greg Harper live this morning over at Port Metro Vancouver. Greg, thanks for that. An elderly man is dead and Vancouver police are trying to figure out why. So far, the VPD is only calling the 70-year-old's death suspicious. Paramedics arrived at an East 6th Avenue basement suite yesterday morning, finding the man with severe injuries. He later died in hospital. Investigators spent the day on scene and they've been speaking to a person of interest. Another serious incident in East Vancouver, this one involving gunfire. A 33-year-old man was sitting in his car on Saturday night at Victoria Drive and East 35th Avenue. Another man walked up and opened fire before running away. The victim stumbled into a restaurant where diners called police. The man was taken to hospital for surgery and has since been released. Investigators believe the attack was targeted but have not identified any suspects. A public hearing is set to take place this afternoon surrounding the redevelopment of Vancouver's Oak Ridge Mall area. At least 90 people have signed up to speak. If this plan goes forward, the size of Oak Ridge Mall would double, plus the area would balloon with the construction of 13 high-rises and 3,000 condo and rental units. Many people who live in the area have concerns with the way the public consultation is being handled. They also fear the city just hasn't done its homework in assessing how the development would impact school capacity, transit, and traffic in the area.
This is a really unique situation at Oak Ridge. 2 PR lobby firms have been hired, and they are actually handling the majority of the public consultation for this project. And of course, they're hired to represent the developer.
Some very big health concerns in the Fraser Valley this morning as health experts investigate a possible measles outbreak. As of yesterday afternoon, the Fraser Health Authority had confirmed 2 cases while investigating more than 100 other possible cases. A Chilliwack school with traditionally low immunization rates is among those areas being investigated. Measles are highly contagious, and this case is particularly concerning with schools on the verge of March break.
What's really concerning is that it can lead to complications such as serious infection of your lungs and also inflammation of your brain, and with those complications it can lead to death as well.
Anyone not vaccinated is strongly encouraged to do so, in most cases for free. Measles symptoms begin with a fever and runny nose before coughing, a rash, and spots develop on the tongue. To Ukraine now, where separatists in Crimea are keeping up the pressure for unification with Moscow. This as the Ukrainian Prime Minister is vowing not to give up a single centimeter of his country's territory. This was the scene in Crimea as hundreds of the region's majority Russian ethnic population celebrated their heritage. That's in advance of next weekend's referendum on whether Crimea should become part of Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin is defending the separatist drive in Crimea. Meanwhile, Ukraine's Prime Minister is set to meet with U.S. President Barack Obama at the White House on Wednesday. The anxious waiting continues for the families of passengers on board a Malaysian airliner that seems to have simply vanished over the weekend. Dozens of ships and aircraft are still searching for any sign of this missing plane. It disappeared 2 days ago, shortly after taking off from Kuala Lumpur on its way to Beijing. So far, there have been no reliable sightings of this plane. 239 people were on board, including a Canadian couple. 2 of the passengers were using stolen passports. Floating objects and 2 oil slicks, which initially seemed to be promising clues, were not from the missing plane.